let's look at how this cosy relationship or the entrenchment of Labor affects everyday life. There was a report last week that shops in Frankston in Melbourne South were scared to open their doors because of constant violence from kids as young as 11. And I've got to say that some of the streets in the Melbourne CBD didn't feel too safe last time I was down there either. Should crime be an issue in the election, and what policies should be suggested to solve it, Gideon?
Well, I mean, it should be an issue. It is a state election after all. Look, I'm sick of seeing this contagion, seeing, federal candidates, for example, promising, as they did in my time in organised politics, CCTV cameras and police station upgrades. Those are the kind of things that state elections should be fought for, but more than just this pork barreling of, security infrastructure and police infrastructure in particular electorates. I'd like to see us look at, for example, the Liberal Party often runs a tough on crime narrative. Didn't work so well for Matthew Guy last time, but I think it's something that the Liberals have brand equity on. But being tough on crime means reducing crime, and the Institute of Public Affairs has historically done a lot of research on the way in which we can reform the criminal justice system to increase rehabilitation, to lower recidivism and things like that. But I'll just finish on this point though. Joe Hildebrand once tweeted something to the effect that every social issue, including crime, can be traced back to disadvantage. And when you see the Victorian government that took a sledgehammer to the economy, screwed up young people mentally by locking them up and out of school for 2 years, when you see inflation going through the roof, this crime is not necessarily due to lack of policing, although the police have skewed priorities at the best of times in this state. It is because of our flailing economy, and we will see it get a lot worse. So to people in Victoria, do what I'm doing, which is take steps now to protect your family and your property, because this is about to get worse.
Is it getting worse under dictator Dan though? I mean, can you draw it back to Dan Andrews himself?
Yeah, of course you can. If for no other reason, look what Dan did to the state of Victoria for the last 2 years. He took a city, and I was living on Spencer Street at the time, right in the CBD. He reached the cold, dead hand of government, reached into the heart of the city and ripped it out. The consequences of that are not going away just because you build a few new headspace centres or some gimmicky thing like that. I'm not saying headspace doesn't do good work, but the government cannot destroy people mentally with one hand and rebuild them with the other. These are complex issues, and the societal and economic war crime that has been done to this state for the last 2 years in particular, in addition to all the other bad economic policies and all the other ways in which disadvantage in this state is getting worse, just like in Chicago and in Democrat cities in the US, that the natural byproduct of that is a whole range of social issues, not the least of which is crime. So yes, this can be brought back to the fact that Victoria has been brought to its knees and it has been damaged, and that damage will manifest itself in a series of aftershocks that we will see for a very, very long time to come.